I trusted this place enough to put 3 loads of clothes in, and now it's closed. Why the fuck does a laundromat close? It's not like they have an attendant working. That little red light over there, that one, is gonna be clicking away all night long. I guess that's what those Santa Barbara people do. Alright. Dude, this coastline is incredible. You know what though? Driving around in the northwestern United States has not been easy. The mountains are intense. Like, the road is this giant S-curve and it's 60 miles an hour, and people that live in the mountains are like really gung-ho about doing it. And I'm from West Texas and I'm like, oh my god, I want to go around this turn. I spent the afternoon in Santa Barbara visiting with a friend that is a producer on movies, and everything that we talked about boiled down to one piece of advice. If you want to pursue filmmaking while working for somebody else, the best way to make it is to move to LA, get a job, and just start doing it. Or you can figure out how to make a movie on your own. When I go on a journey, when any of us go on a journey, there should be a purpose, something that we're looking for. In this case, I've been searching for a story while seeing some beautiful parts of the United States. And I think it's finally hit. What I was telling y'all about earlier with the Bitcoin and the dark web being used to transport drugs, there is a great story there that is not only informative, but it could be very action-packed and highlight some beautiful places in the country, law enforcement versus the dark web, legal pot versus illegal pot. And it all starts with writing a script. Coming up with the money to do this. I'm always talking about money, I know. But you gotta have money to make a movie. And before I would be willing to ask anybody for money, I gotta write a script. It's 24 hours back to San Angelo. And there, we can set up shop, start watching movies, reading books, and writing a script. Then we gotta get money. We gotta go out and shoot it. And at that point, the editing will be just work. There ain't none of that creative stuff that's really stressful. Doing something creative, being an artist, and producing it on a regular basis is tough. I was listening to an interview with Macaulay Culkin yesterday, and it's so hard to critique something to the point that it never gets released to the public. But he said once a piece of art is shown to the public, it's there. It can't be changed. And that's true with filmmaking too. Whatever you're going to produce, when you throw it out there, it's gone. It is no longer yours. It belongs to the world. How beautiful is that? And the reason the creative stuff is tough because it's one thing to express your own emotions, but it's another to do it in a way that is accepted by the world. And I know artists say, oh, well, you just do your thing and it exists, but who cares if you can express yourself if nobody gives a shit about it? It's about expressing yourself in a way that can help other people. So I know this has just been a lot of talking, and I'm about to drive back to Texas. So it is going to be a little bit flat around here for a few days, which is normal. For a while, we got to write a script. It's going to be hot. It's been like 90 out here. It's going to be like 100 there. They're in a drought. That lake that we stayed on last night, Cachuma, is the water supply for Santa Barbara. They're in a drought. And they have lots of beautiful landscaping that they love to water. And they're starting to desalinate, which is expensive. But you gotta do what you gotta do. I think it's funny, the idea of like a guy standing on the edge of the ocean looking out at water as far as he can see going, man, we're running out of water. We gotta do something about this. I mean, sometimes the obvious shit just hits you in the face. And another thing, you've probably heard of Santa Barbara before. It's only 90,000 people. Which is incredible because that's a very small town with quite a reputation. And it's fun to drive around because it's so popular that every business front is full. The homes are so expensive that people really care about them. And you can just see that desire to take care of life existing. And there's no bugs. Alright, y'all. That's the last view we're going to get of the beautiful West Coast. We are headed back to West Texas, which is a very different place. If you like my idea about the Bitcoin and drug dealers being turned into a movie, then tell me. And if you think it's a horrible idea, or that I might get shot for exposing somebody's secret, then tell me that too. Later. Alright, y'all, one last thing. You've got to meet Uncle Rico's new girlfriend. Hey, baby. Doing alright, honey? What's wrong with your hands, girl? It's alright, we get you some gloves. We got to move. Hey, you ain't gonna believe this. Somebody just tried to get in the van. They drilled the lock out. I guess they were gonna get it open by the time I walked out here. Somebody pulled off and left real suspicious, but hell, that's the first time it's happened. In Santa Barbara, at a beach access. Damn, we got to go. Real talk, the van just got broke into. Or not broke into, but somebody tried to drill my lock out while I was sitting in that beach access parking lot. Yeah, in Santa Barbara. Of everywhere we've been and all the fucking hoods we've slept in, some asshole at a beach access in one of the richest towns in America tried to break into my van, yo! They didn't get nothing. I gotta fix my lock now. Always working on these doors. So what happened is I got a switch on the dome light so that you can turn the light on or off if the door's open at night. If I forget to turn that light back on, then when the door handle's pulled, the alarm won't go off. So then you gotta shake the van and an impact sensor has to kick it. So when they got in, the impact sensor would have gone off, but whatever. I got my girl now. She's a little creepy, isn't she? You think that's why they started fucking with it? They try to get at my girl? Were they trying to get at you? What'd you tell them? Fuck off. I'm taken. There's something exciting about having a boat behind the van, even if there's no plan to use it. We're headed to Texas now. I had to run through Lake Havasu and get the boat, and we have re-entered I-10 towards El Paso. 8 hours, and then another 8 after that, so 16 hours back to San Angelo. What an ironic picture. Got a rainbow over here, and a dust storm coming in. I was trying to think about where the safest place in the United States to live is. I've driven through hurricanes down in Florida that have torn it up. The Texas coast has been torn up. The Atlantic gets hurricanes. The North gets snow. The Northwest has a lot of fires. Anywhere in the mountains has a lot of fires. I mean, the fires are bad right now. And if you live on the coast, being in California, you hear all this talk of global warming, rising the oceans. Well, kind of screwed. Except Arizona, man, there ain't nothing out here. There's nothing to burn. It's a high elevation, like above 1,000 feet in most places. It's hot, and there's no water, but they dammed up the Colorado River, so there's lakes on it. So with the exception of like a dam getting blown up, actually it would take a series of dams because there's quite a few of them on the river. There's not a whole lot to go wrong. And thinking about it, property insurance or house insurance in Lake Havasu is dirt cheap, man. It's like almost so small that it doesn't need to be budgeted in when buying a home. Fire and drought are the, fire in the house, but not a natural wildfire catching it. There's just not a whole lot to go wrong, man. And outside of Tucson, which is where I'm at right now, there is a place called the Biosphere 2. And it was a research experiment, I don't know, it's been a while, 20 or 30 years ago. And they put a bunch of people in a self-contained facility with plants and everything they needed to live to see if it was possible to live in a, unnatural environment. Like if we were to set some up on Mars. Sorry, this camera's heavy. I wanted to go visit. It's still open as a science experiment, but I got this boat behind me, and I would have to spend the night in Tucson, do that tomorrow. It would add an extra day to the trip. And when you hook a trailer up and you take on a mission, it's not just the van anymore. It's more like work. But man, these skies are crazy. There's a dust storm that's been blowing in out here. A warning came up on my phone. It was going nuts at McDonald's. A full rainbow was stretching over a convenience store. And now the sunset with all that dust in the air is like a prison. Pow! It's raining too. Raining in Arizona. There's that water problem solved. If a dust storm's all you got to worry about, then ain't doing so bad. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Midwest. So not only is it hot and dry in a lot of the central United States, they get tornadoes. Arizona doesn't get tornadoes. Just some thoughts. Hell, while we're at it, while I'm driving, it's a very meditative thing. I put on a good podcast. I just finished listening to Macaulay Culkin's Bunny Ears for the first time, and a scripted comedy called Bubble. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend either of them, but they're interesting, branching out into new things. And This American Life about the, quest? Something about the quest for inquiry. So I just finished listening to This American Life, the quest for inquiry, and that was good. It's about how we use science and why we look into answering crazy questions in the world. They even had a YouTuber on there, Vsauce, talking to him. These thoughts come up while I'm driving, and I've gotten to the point where I don't like filming in the van because, one, the audio's shit, and two, it happens all the time. But I want to ask if y'all like it when I go off on a rant driving in the van? Like, is the information worth being shared, or should I try to recreate it in a place that's different? Because that's hard to do. When I'm driving, I'm just like, bam, 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 got the camera, let's film this, baby. I love it, let's shoot it. My favorite saying. Y'all, I haven't said anything about this in a long time, but I spend a lot of time in truck stops. The one we're at tonight is a Pilot, and the reason I like them is because they have an enhanced outdoor Wi-Fi network. So you can get on the internet. And this was by far the trickiest backing job I've had to do with a bumper pull trailer, possibly ever. Getting into a parking spot between two semis. Oh man, we got it. It's like 88 degrees right now and wet, but not muggy, just the ground's wet. Hey girl, you ready for bed? The mannequin's getting a little bit creepy. Like when I first got it, I put my hand under his butt to carry it, and it felt weird. It's foam and wire, but it scared me. Somebody tried to break in and steal her. Now I gotta find somewhere to put her tonight. That'd be weird if I cuddled up, right? Yeah, I can't believe somebody tried to break in. They messed my door lock up. So now I can't open it with a key. In a lot of cases, thieves do more damage trying to break into something to take something of small value. They do more damage than they do actually get out of the job. Oh man. I just don't like thieves.
Planet Fitness has got this workout called 30-Minute Express. It's 10 step workouts and 10 machines. Stay for a minute and a half. There's a red and a green light that tells you when to move. And it's like a basic full body strength and cardio workout. All right, my shoes are the tripod. Dude, I've been running into like private bathrooms. It's awesome.
For 1 hour, 3 times, 4 times a week, I live a healthier life with a $25 membership. Like, I'm not sponsored by Planet Fitness, but I gladly would be if somebody from the company is watching this.
Alright, so let's not get this mixed up. It's about working out 3 times a week and showering regularly, not what gym you go to. If you keep those things up consistently, then you'll live a healthier, wealthier life. And I'm excited because we're going to check out the biosphere. I like what they do at Planet Fitness. It makes it easy for me because all over the country there are well-maintained, consistently built Planet Fitness gyms that can be accessed using the Black Card membership. There aren't a whole lot of, the whole lot of the country is homogenous, but there are not a lot of places you can get a shower and a workout on the cheap anywhere in the United States. Alright, dude, look at this beast. We got to go drop that bad boy off. How about put it in the water? Hey!